Hi, Beth. A lot of progress. I'll be looking at your week 7 URL, but this will be feedback for milestone 2. So you have a couple days to make refinements if you'd like. The rubric for the final is no different than the rubric for the milestone 2, except that it has exemplary categories. Good going. Beth, I see a lot of positive improvements from the last time I looked at this, and you've got successfully imported a background image. More importantly, you've set up an account with the web host, and I see you have a directory or a folder for that. Had you given any more thought about how you might organize your files? I'm looking at your code here. Let me zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. And I see that you have an external style sheet, and you also have a list, an unordered list. That's what that stands for. And you applied some formatting to it. But I would encourage you to take a look at the student examples I posted a week ago and see how you can further format your navigation. Your CSS, let's see, take a look at that, and it is short, but you can build on this. It's correctly formatted too. Yes, and it does too have a body, but it's not a body area. Here you are formatting the body of the page, HTML page. This looks good. And I think you have the ingredients. Let me zoom back out. You just, perhaps a little bit of typographic refinement. Also, I see that you have child pages and that you have substantial content on each of them. I like that you've used PDFs of your menu. Wow, how well this blends in. Now, here's a challenge for you, is to try to get the type, say, of your navigation to match the type of your menu. And it can be done. Curious, the navigation on your home page, or let's see, your index.html, I believe, was vertical and centered. No? All right. Okay, so here's the contents of your server. Enter. Oh, I see. So it's what we used to call a splash page. And I suppose it'd be all right if the navigation was different. But usually on the home page or the first initial page, you orient the viewer with the interface, which, if the navigation is going to range across the top for all but this page, maybe it should be consistent. Just a suggestion. I see you've gotten the logo to be transparent. Did you use SVG file format? Let me take a look. No, PNG. Well, PNG supports transparency. But think about vector file formats such as SVG. Beth, I looked in the folder and I didn't see screenshots. But, as I may have mentioned before, continue to not only validate your code, but also perform browser shots so that you know what your website looks like in various browsers. Beth, I wanted to acknowledge your wireframes. I like them because they were color-coded, and after looking at them for a while, I got the idea that, okay, her navigation is going to be green, is color-colored green. There's background photos, or photos are going to be this teal color. So nice job on that, and I'm glad to see that you considered a footer. Have you been able to incorporate that? It's going to replace the watermark for the 000 web host. So that's one nice thing about putting a footer on your page, is that should go away, the web host watermark. Can't do anything about the web host code, unfortunately. Hopefully you've been able to recognize it and to ignore it, the code that the web host places dynamically on your page. I think I may have mentioned that, I think the navigations where it ranges across the top here are the best. It seems like you went along with that. You took that advice, and in your child pages at least, I see that you have the logo embedded in the middle with the navigation ranging off to the left and to the right. And I think it works really well. It just needs some formatting, perhaps apply the corporate typefaces to your website. Think about as you're designing your pages, it's okay to compare them to print design. You want the same sort of distribution of copy to image, white space too, you need to consider. And you can do that and still bear in mind all the platforms and formats that a web page may be viewed in. The purpose of designing wireframes is to give structure, but also a rationale for placement of ingredients on your pages. And the idea was to return to this week 3 assignment, revise them, and also keep an eye towards adaptability. Your pages are going to have to adapt to a wide variety of platforms and formats. Beth, I think I'll end this on that note. But good progress. You have a week to make some refinements, and I think you can raise those needs work criteria pretty easily. Good job.